Hey YouTube, it's time for a solo play on Masmorra, the Dungeons of Arcadia. It is a dungeon crawling dice game good for 1 to 5 players. I'm playing it solo today. Alliance mode. I'm going to be taking the role of 3 different warriors, including Jay, the human warrior. These miniatures are so cool. They are so detailed. That is Jay. I'm also Micah. He was a human rogue warrior. You see her ready to go with her dagger. And finally I got Greybark. He is a half-giant and very powerful man that will be going through the dungeons. At its core, very simple game. You roll dice to figure out exactly what you can do, like the swords, hand-to-hand combat where you can inflict damage to the bad guys, bow and arrows, long-range attack. You can also heal your guys and walk into different rooms to explore the dungeon. There's 3 levels. A first level, a second level, and then the boss is on the 3rd level. You have a counter that goes. You have 21 moves to try and get to the boss and defeat him, or it's game over. This is the Alliance mode, where it's the co-op play. You also have these little counters over here that match the colors of your players. It's really cool too, because here, like on Jay, I have the green background on them, this green pad. Well, these you can take off and put on any other player. So if you like purple, and you like Jay, you can put purple on Jay and get the purple cap and the purple footstep token. So you get to match the colors and kind of tweak it to however you'd like to have it. But it's a very easy game, like I say, at its core. You're exploring, you're rolling dice, you're playing the dice to fight monsters, protect yourself, heal yourself, level up, get more abilities as the game goes on. But there's a lot of little mechanics in the game that you can forget about as you're going to play, because you have 21 moves to try and get to that boss. You might forget something along the way. So it takes a couple of plays to make sure you've got the game down crisp. We're going to try and go ahead and do this quick gameplay, just to kind of show you what it's like. So Jay is first. He's our green human. He's going to go ahead and roll his dice and start exploring this dungeon to try and kill the bad guy. He's got a pretty good roll here. He's got 3 bow and arrows, which are 3 long-range attack, a shield, and 2 potion. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and stay with those, because I have this footstep token that everybody can use once per turn, and that's to explore, take basically 2 moves. So you can explore to open up a room and then walk into the room for the second step. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Flipping over the token, the top tile of our level 1 deck is a rune. This basically opens up a brand new medium-sized room. So already Jay is going to be getting into this huge room. Another thing for Jay, this dot right here means, since he opened up the medium room, he gets 1 XP right off the start. Now whenever you go to a new row right here, you get to level up your person, give you more abilities. So this rune card basically gets put away, and we bring in the brand new card, the medium room. There's a spider, a boss spider with a treasure chest. And then you can see there's kind of doorways here. You have to put this matching any of the 4 doorways on this tile. And you have to do that as you build your room. For easy sake, I'm just going to put it right down here. We grab our bad guy, Hansi Bitsy, right at the top. A huge spider. Now on these boss tokens, as well as the dice that we can roll during the game that has our bad guys, this is what it says. It says this guy can attack me for 2. He can have 3 XP that I have to kill him with. So if I can hit him 3 times, he's dead. And whenever I kill him, these 3 dots mean I get 3 XP for that move. So we'll put him there in his room. We'll bring in the 2 gold pieces for the treasure chest. If I have a shield, which I do, I can play it here and collect those gold pieces. One thing you have to do in the cooperative mode, though, and I should have actually done this before I rolled the dice, every single turn you flip over an evil card, and this tries to have the dungeon and its creatures fight back. So this turn says, it's a dark assault. Any player must pay 4 gold or all monsters inflict 1+ wound with their payback until the end of this turn. The payback is when, if you're doing hand-to-hand combat, that's what the monster attacks you with. So they can inflict 1+ wound to me, and also each bad guy has its own special abilities, and that also includes our boss. Our boss is right here at the top, Hansi Bitsy. There's a blue side and a red side to the bosses. Basically, the blue side is when you first attack them, they're kind of calm. Well, then they flip over to the angry side, and they're a little bit more of a pain to take care of. But we're fighting the blue side right now. So the blue side of Auntie Bitsy says it's a Venom Strike. The hero loses 1 life at the very start of combat. See, little mechanics that you can kind of forget about throughout the game because everybody has something different. So, okay, Auntie Bitsy is going to attack me right now. I have my little heart meter. It's going to go from a 6 to a 5. Once it goes all the way down to the skull, that means I'm dead. So I've already lost 1 health fighting Auntie Bitsy. Oops, I forgot to actually move him into the room. So now, what can I do? Well, Auntie Bitsy I can attack and slay, or turn him over to the red side, for 3 attack. He can attack me back twice, and his Venom Strike, which he just did to me. But there's one little caveat. I've got 3 arrows. The 3 arrows are long-range attack. That means that he cannot attack me back for payback of 2 because I'm attacking him from across the room. It's not hand-to-hand combat. So, right there, let's go ahead and play it. 3 bow and arrows from Jay to hit him 3 times and slay him. I get 3 XP for that move, so thank you very much. 1, 2, 3. I'll get to level up at the end of this turn. And we flip him over to the red side. Now he's a little bit harder to beat. 4 attack to slay him. Again, the payback is only 2, but you get 4 XP if you can beat him. So I'll leave it right there. Well, look at this. Moving on. I'll go ahead. You only, for the bosses, by the way, you don't have to defeat both sides in 1 turn. So just because we beat the blue side, we flipped him over, we don't have enough dice now to fight him, he's not going to attack me for the 2. It's kind of like he rests until the next turn. But with the rest of my dice, look what I get to do. The shield, I get to play right here on the treasure chest. Collect 2 pieces of gold. Whenever I have 5, I can buy a treasure card. And speaking of treasure cards, whenever you open up a treasure chest, you get a treasure card. These help you throughout the game. At any time, I can ambush. Give the active hero a bow and arrow, which is a long-range attack. Or on my turn, I get the sudden strike and get 2 bows and arrows. That's great. So I get that for opening up the treasure chest. Also, when defeating a boss, you get a treasure. It looks like I can cancel the effects of the revealed evil card, which is great because remember we draw this evil card once per turn. So I can play that at any time. Or the insight, look at the top 2 cards of the evil deck. I can put one of both at the bottom of the deck. So that's pretty cool too. So I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that maybe until we get a little bit lower into health. Speaking of health, I've got a potion. I can go ahead and play that on Jay, move him back up to 6. He's at full power. So I've got this last die. I could have re-rolled it earlier, but really it wouldn't have done any good. I've got the treasure. I've slayed Auntie Bitsy on my first move. I used my token to move into the room. I'm in a spider web, so it's going to be hard for me to be able to move out of that room anyway this turn. So basically, I go ahead and spend this for 1 piece of gold. Any unused die you get an extra piece of gold. So now I've got 3 gold, 2 more, and Jay can buy a new treasure card. So that's the end of Jay's turn. As I said, we did level up, so now you can see there's kind of 2 cards on the top of everybody's playmat. You're able to move these up and down whenever you get to level up. So let's just go ahead and show you what Jay has as his possibilities of leveling up. I could play 1 sword to reveal 2 bow and arrows. I could play 1 shield to get 2 swords, a shield, and a piece of gold. Or a footstep turns into a sword and 2 gold, or 3 gold turns into 3 sword and a shield, and that means I could play it as many times as I want per turn. I think for my first power-up, though, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I love the long-range attacks because then you can attack from afar and not have any of that payback or damage inflicted to you. So let's go ahead and put that card there, and we'll go ahead and do our upgrade. It's so hard to get these in there. This side. So Jay's already leveled up. He's good there. That's the end of his turn. We'll go ahead and flip his token over. Now it's going to be Micah's turn. At this point of the game, if there was any bad guy on the board other than the boss, any of these dice, if any of these were on the board, this is when they get to move 2 spaces, up to 2 spaces, towards bad guys, but they won't. Now, one thing I did forget. As soon as I reveal one of these tiles, I'm supposed to flip it over to see what the next one is. Okay, good. It's a spawning room. If it was a trap, you put the trap on right away and it hurts you. That's Again, another mechanic, as soon as you bring in a tile, you got to flip that tile over. You got to remember the evil card at the very beginning of the turn. You got to remember to flip these tiles every time you bring a new one on to see what the next one on this deck is. You got to remember to take treasure cards. You got to remember that all these people have their own special abilities. So like I say, it's an easy game at its base, but there's a lot of mechanics you can forget about. Let's go ahead and move on to Micah now. Micah's turn. We will first play an evil card. Again, Jay has that treasure card where I could ignore it, but it's early in the game. Everybody has their full health. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Dark Assault. That's the same one we just had. Any player must pay 4 gold or all monsters inflict 1 wound on their payback this turn. Well, we're going to go ahead and have that in. So Micah's turn now. She's going to roll, oh boy, 2 shields, a bow and arrow, a sword, a footstep, and a magic. Let's see here. No. I think I'm going to keep these, re-roll these. Great, 2 footsteps. We'll just go with that. What the heck? All right, so we're going to play our footsteps. We're not going to fade Ontsy Bitsy yet. Play some footsteps to explore. We're going to go over here to this spawning room. We're going to build it this way. Automatically flip over this tile. Okay, it's another room, which means another big room is coming on here in a second. Spawning room is where we bring in these bad guys. And it's got a skull, which means it is the blue or the lesser of all evils. There are 6 different monsters on this die. You roll it, and then we find out who's going to be spawning in this room. And it looks like it's going to be this crazy thing. And when you look at it, it's going to be a ghoul. Right here at the bottom. The ghoul is undead. Start a combat, he steals a movement die if available. If not, he steals the movement symbol, even possible the free symbol. The potions can be used as range attacks against this monster. So bows and arrows and potions can be basically the ranged attack. So here he is. He's got 3 payback, 3 XP, and if you beat him, you get 3 XP for him. So let's go ahead and put him here in the spawning room, and that is the room that she walked into. So we're going to go ahead and do some combat. Let's see here. So again, start of combat, he steals one of our movements, so that's too bad. So now we're down to these die. But he's got the 3 health. Unfortunately, I've only got 2 attacks. I've got a bow and arrow, and I've got a sword. The unique thing every character has on their starting card is a special attack right here, where if you have 1 shield and 1 sword, you play it, and it turns into 2 swords and 1 shield. So it's kind of an upgrade already that you're able to play. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Thank you very much, Micah. We got to put these back on here where we were. And remember, he's got 1 plus payback, so he's going to inflict 4 damage if we're not careful. So we're going to play the shield and the sword right here for 2 attacks and a shield. And our bow and arrow equals 3 attacks. Now, even though the bow and arrow is a long-range attack, since they're all not long-ranged attacks, that means that they all count as hand-to-hand combat. So I've got my 3, 1, 2, 3 hits. So he's dead. I've got 1 shield. I've got 2 shields. But that's all I've got. And remember, he's got 3 payback plus 1 from the evil card, so that's a 4. I can only have 2 shields, so I block 2 of the hits, but not all 4 of them. So he's going to inflict me for 2 damage, which goes down to 4 now, but he is dead, and Micah's going to get 3 XP in exchange for beating that monster. So she is our red character. Oh, this is the movement 2 of the game. 1, 2, 3. Level up. So she gets to level up here at the end. By beating the monster, she gets a treasure card. The treasure card that she gets is give an active hero 2 footsteps or teleport during your turn. Place a hero in a room with another hero. That's great. So we're going to hold on to that for her. Right now, we would spawn monsters, but since she is in the spawning room, no monsters spawn. If a monster is in the spawning room or a hero is in the spawning room, nobody new comes on the board. So we just get to kind of keep it there, and that's the end of her turn. And as we said, she got to level up, so we get to take a look at her cards. Just go ahead and pull these out so you can see my options of leveling her up. It would be the top one. Either one bow and arrow would equal 3 swords, or one bow and arrow would equal a bow and arrow and 2 gold. We are going to go with that one. So Micah's got her power up. So that's pretty cool. 2 turns and already we have 2 power-ups for our heroes. And we move it on down now to Greybark's turn. Again, the very start of the turn. By the way, this is now turn 3 of the game. So, the very first turn, thing we do on a turn is draw the evil card. Clumsy. Any player must pay 1 gold for each bow and arrow die the active hero uses this turn. So any player can pay gold. Jay has 3 for the long-range attack that Greybark would be playing this turn. Great. That's not going to be good for us. Well, let's go ahead and roll some dice and see what's going on. Remember, we got Auntie Bitsy down here, which we kind of need to get around to. Let's see. Greybark has a special ability, by the way, on his card. Along with everybody having the shield and sword to make 1 shield, 2 swords, Greybark can exchange any footprint for a sword, a shield, or a potion. So that might come in pretty handy if we want to attack Auntie Bitsy. He's got his free movement, so that's good, but if we had some free movements, we could kind of move in and get Auntie Bitsy. He's got a bow and arrow, but remember, if we spend that, we've got to pay some gold. But it would be nice not to inflict that attack. Well, I don't think it's going to happen. This would be 2, 3. Let's keep that die and roll these. Good, he's got that. The magic doesn't do anything, though. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and use his token to move into this room. He's going to try and defeat Auntie Bitsy right now. So, what we're going to do is we're going to pay the sword and the shield. And automatically we get our upgrade of 2 attacks and 1 shield. So now we've got 2 of the 4 attacks. We're going to play our special ability of Greybark by changing his footsteps into a sword. So that's 3 attacks on Auntie Bitsy and 1 shield. And then we will pay this from Jay to use the bow and arrow. So that's 4 attacks and 1 shield. And that's about all we got, because we can't do anything with these 2. So 4 attacks and 1 shield. Auntie Bitsy is dead, but payback is 2. So attacks us for 1. So Greybark will lose a health and go down to 5. But Greybark gets 4 XP along the way to kill Auntie Bitsy. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to be able to level up. In beating Auntie Bitsy, he gets a treasure card, which can't be used this turn. Battle cry at any time. Choose 1 room. All monsters in that room inflict -1 wound in their payback until the end of the turn. And stealth. Play during your turn. Ignore any payback on the first attack you make this turn. Pretty good card for Greyback, but we can't use it yet. Other than that, we'll go ahead and play the potion to move him back up to 6. And there's nothing we can do with the magic die except for get a gold coin in exchange for it. And we did level up. So the last thing we got to do is look at Greybark's cards and see what we want to do with him. He could, I like the Feral Strike. We're going to go ahead and level him up there. Pretty cool though, because we might as well level this up, because the next time he levels up, he gets to have the extra die come in for every roll he has, which is the same exact die as the black ones. It's just he gets 1 more, which is a pretty cool. It would be a wolf companion basically for him. So we will upgrade him with the Feral Strike. That is his new ability. Flip that over, return the dice here. Again, he's at full health. The bad part is we've already gone now into our 4th turn, and we've only unveiled 2 rooms. We've got to get through all these rooms. Somewhere at the 11th tile is the staircase to go to our 2nd level of the dungeon, and then 7 tiles in is the staircase to go to the boss level. So we kind of need to start moving through some rooms here and getting these tiles out of the way so that by the 21st move we've beaten the bad guy. So that's the first moves for this game of Masmorra, Dungeons of Arcadia. And again, as you can see, it's a really fun game to play. A lot of different mechanics that you can forget about. But that's the basic setup. If you want to see some more gameplay, check on the next video. But that is it. Thank you everybody for watching. Like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time with another solo game that you can play. Or, of course, cooperative play. Thanks for watching.